Before we wrap up the show today, let's get to meet with Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. She reads from her book and, of course, introduces it to us. Enjoy this.
Hi, my name is Ronke Giwa Onafuwa, author of Lara's Lessons. So I'm going to be reading from chapter 9, a lesson about association. The next day at school, Lara told Tenny she would not be going with her to see Femi and Shegun again. I almost got into trouble yesterday. I can't risk letting my parents down. If they found out that I've been leaving school to hang out with a bunch of 26-year-olds. Lara couldn't even finish her statement. The thought sent shivers down her spine. Don't worry, we'll be more careful next time, Tenny assured. No, I'm not going anymore, thank you. For a few days, Tenny didn't try to persuade Lara to go outside the school. She went on her own, and when she got back, she told Lara how Shegun missed her so much. She gave Lara constant updates about Shegun, and one day, she brought a handwritten note from Shegun to Lara. The note simply said, "I have missed you." Lara sighed and crumbled the paper. 1 week later, Tenny walked into class and sat beside Lara. "Today is Shegun's birthday," she stated matter-of-factly. "And he says he needs to see you. You know I've stopped trying to convince you to come with me, but come on, it's the guy's birthday. The least you could do is surprise him." Lara looked unsure. "Come on, Lara will be back long before your dad comes to pick you, I promise." "Okay," Lara said quietly. And during lunchtime, they both quietly slipped out of school. The car was already waiting. And as Lara opened the door, Shegun was already smiling so widely. He hugged her tightly, telling her how much he had missed her. Then they drove to the house, and Lara sat on the sofa as usual. "It's my birthday, Lara. Come on, let's go inside. Nothing will happen." Lara looked very nervous and sighed. When they got into the room, she heard him lock the door. Her heart started beating faster and faster. She looked suspiciously at him. "Relax," he said, moving closer until he was close enough. Then he grabbed her and started pulling roughly at her clothes. "Stop it," she said in a stern voice. "Stop it now, or else I will scream." Shegun laughed as he continued to struggle with her clothes. Lara's voice became desperate as she began to plead with him. "Please, don't do this to me. I'm begging you." She rubbed her palms together. "So, you have been coming here, and I've watched you leave every time without laying a finger on you." "Not today," he said, trying to kiss her as she resisted and pushed. "If you scream, nobody will hear you or come to your help." "Your friend is enjoying herself with my friend," he laughed. "I don't know why you can't be more like her. Why do you have to be difficult?" Shegun had become angry as he pulled harder at her clothes. A part of her top ripped in his hands. Then he pushed down to the bed. Lara started to cry as she begged, struggled, and finally screamed loudly. Seconds later, someone started banging on the door. "Shegun, open the door now!" Tenny's voice came through the door. "Mind your business, Tenny. She's fine. She's just pretending." Lara took advantage of his distraction to push him off. Though he had successfully removed her top at this point, but she grabbed it, dashed to the door. Crying and struggling to put on her torn top, she opened the door and ran out. "Lara, stop!" Tenny came running after her. "Leave me alone, Tenny!" Lara growled, whipping and shaking. "Just leave me alone," she said as she continued walking away. "I didn't know he would try to rape you, Lara. I am so sorry." At the mention of the word rape, Lara froze. She realized she had actually just been a few seconds from getting raped. Her breathing became heavier as panic washed over her, thinking of what had just happened to her. "Lara?" Tenny tried to hold her, but Lara snapped at her. "Leave me alone and don't ever talk to me again," she screamed as she kept walking, waved down a bike, and returned to school. She was unusually quiet for the rest of the day. Lara waited by the gate, and when she spotted her dad's car, she opened the door and jumped in very quickly. Startled, her dad paused and looked at her. "Do you want to talk about it?" he asked. Lara broke down in tears. Her dad waited patiently for her to stop crying. Then Lara told her dad everything. That chapter I just read from is a lesson about association, and it's actually loosely based on a personal experience. And it's where Lara had been hanging out with this girl, Tenny, who then introduces her to some older guys, and then she almost got raped. And basically that lesson is just to show and to obviously or to prove that the association that we keep can greatly impact us. Lara's Lesson is a book that is for young girls, inspired by my journey as an adolescent when I was younger. And of course, it's a book about different life lessons that I believe that young girls, adolescents, and even boys, I think, should learn in life. There's a lesson about money, a lesson about speaking up, a lesson about being your authentic self. And like I said, the lesson I read about is a lesson about association. And I really do hope that, you know, as many people as possible will read this book, because even if you're older, it will help you to relive your teenage years. And of course, if you're an adolescent or you know one, I really think you should pick up a copy of Lara's Lessons at the bookstore near to you and enjoy reading it. I hope you do.